To open this project, we will be discussing cloning and why it is important in our lives today. Clones are organisms that are the same in every way, even the DNA. Clones can happen throughout nature, such as identical twins. They can also be made in laboratories. There are three major forms of artificial cloning. These three major forms are gene cloning, reproductive cloning, and therapeutic cloning. Gene cloning, also known as DNA cloning, produces copies of genes. Reproductive cloning produces copies of whole animals. Therapeutic cloning produces embryonic stem cells for experiments aimed at creating tissues to replace injured or diseased tissues. Cloning has the potential to benefit large numbers of people. For this reason alone, cloning is a huge topic of interest in the scientific community. Cloning could be used to make organs for the people that need them, amongst many more applications. Further accomplishments in this field of science can lead to longer and healthier lives. Speaking, cloning can be the fountain of youth and the link to immortality.
Now that we've talked about what cloning actually is and why it is important and should be a topic of interest for society, it is important to know what the current state of knowledge regarding cloning scientists have. Thanks to research, scientists can clone animals and plants without difficulty. The ability to clone plants has helped farmers and horticulturists alike tremendously. Plant cloning has helped this group because it has given them the ability to reproduce almost one-to-one copies from a mother source. One of the biggest cases of current knowledge in this research field is the creation of Dolly the sheep. Not only can sheep be cloned, but many other mammals, including cats, deers, dogs, cows, and much more have been cloned. Unfortunately, or fortunately for us, the odds of cloning something prehistoric are slim to none. The only way for scientists to achieve this feat is to find an intact nucleus, which will most likely never be found. Another current major point of research we have today is the ability to clone and create embryo. The sole purpose for these cloned embryos is to harvest the embryonic stem cells, of which can virtually generate all types of cells. Researchers today are taking these stem cells and performing tasks that could brighten our future. One of these applications include using these stem cells to grow healthy tissues that can replace injured and diseased tissues. One of the biggest question marks today is whether we can clone humans in any capacity. There have been claims, but there has been no substantial evidence to provide these claims.
Not everyone believes cloning is a path to follow. In the case of therapeutic cloning, there's controversy surrounding the morality of creating a human only to destroy it. People who believe human life begins at fertilization argue that said entity is functionally a human being. But the counter-argument is that at said stage, that entity is simply a bundle of cells. Furthermore, some argue that the clone produced is equivalent to any human embryo and should be afforded the same respect, while others argue that since it is not the product of fertilization, it is an entity never seen before in nature and not entirely a human being. There's also the issue with creating clones of a person. Some religious groups pose the question that it is ungodly for humans to create other humans through means other than reproduction. Cloned children might also suffer from altered family dynamics, since a clone is closer to being a biological twin rather than a child of the parent individual. People also fear that cloning technology might be used to create slave labor, or creation of human organ farms where clones are created to produce organs. Going forward, society will have to deal with ethical issues. Research is still ongoing to find easier, cheaper methods to clone animals for human consumption, and human cloning is still banned in over 70 countries. But people are still researching ways to clone humans. And when someone finally creates a human clone, there's no way to know the societal implications that will follow.